Let's zoom in on a single future day in the life of a nation. December 15th, 2025. I know, it sounds kind of random, right? But this one day gives us this perfect snapshot of the complex, challenging, and, well, sometimes just plain weird reality of the modern Philippines.
It's a pretty strange mix, isn't it? You've got these high-stakes political showdowns and serious international incidents on one hand, and a viral dancing monkey on the other. So what does that contrast really tell us about the country? Let's piece together the story of that one day.
Okay, first up, the story that was absolutely dominating the national conversation. A massive fight in Congress over the national budget. And make no mistake, this isn't just some political noise. This is a battle that directly hits your wallet and shapes the country's future.
The number at the heart of the whole debate is just staggering. Nearly 6.8 trillion pesos. And that isn't some abstract figure on a spreadsheet. That's the lifeblood of the nation. We're talking about the money that funds everything from new roads and schools to the salaries of teachers, nurses, and police.
But here's the crazy part. The whole process didn't grind to a halt over trillions of pesos. Nope, it stalled over this. 45 billion. Now, that still sounds like a ton of money, but it's just a fraction of the total budget. And yet, this one proposed cut to public works projects became the single point of conflict holding up the whole shebang.
So here's where the two sides really dug in their heels. On one side, you had the Senate. They were insisting on the cut, pointing to what they saw as serious risks of corruption in how public works money gets spent. But the House of Representatives fired right back, arguing that slashing this much funding would make thousands of crucial projects, in their words, simply unimplementable. A total deadlock.
So what happens if they just can't agree? Well, the government has this kind of default setting for this exact kind of stalemate. It's called a reenacted budget. It basically means if no new budget is passed by the deadline, the country is forced to operate on the old budget from the previous year.
And this is not just some boring government technicality. This is where it really hits home. A reenacted budget means those promised salary hikes for teachers and nurses, frozen. It means brand new government programs can't get off the ground and new infrastructure projects are stopped dead in their tracks. Essentially, the country's progress just gets put on hold.
But while the politicians in Manila were arguing over money, a very different kind of crisis was unfolding out at sea. On the very same day, the conflict shifted from an internal debate to a super tense international standoff. Suddenly, the stakes were all about national security.
The flashpoint was right here, Sabina Shoal, also known as Escoda Shoal. As you can see, it's located well within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone in the West Philippine Sea. That makes it a critical area for Filipino fishermen, and really a symbol of national sovereignty.
And what happened there was pretty unambiguous. The Chinese Coast Guard used powerful water canyons and other aggressive tactics against Filipino fishing boats. And we're not just talking about warnings here. These were direct attacks that actually injured fishermen and damaged their boats.
The international reaction was swift. The United States State Department released a really powerful statement, and they used these exact words to describe what happened: dangerous and aggressive. That condemnation took the incident from a regional dispute and blasted it onto the world stage as a major geopolitical headline, putting treaty commitments right in the spotlight.
You know, as if a budget crisis and a confrontation at sea weren't enough for one day, another battle was being fought on that same day, and this one was a battle for the truth. A Senate hearing was going on for a proposed Anti-Fake News Act, trying to tackle the growing crisis of misinformation.
And the hearing really boiled down to this one fundamental dilemma. How does a country protect its citizens from malicious, harmful lies without accidentally crushing the essential right to free speech? It's an incredibly delicate and super important balance to find.
And to understand the real-world stakes, just look at this. On that same day, a post went viral claiming there was a massive 100,000 pesos cash aid program for persons with disabilities. It spread like wildfire, giving false hope to thousands of vulnerable people.
But, as the fact-checking organization VeriFiles quickly confirmed, it was completely 100% fake. This is the exact kind of real, immediate harm that the proposed law is trying to prevent. See, it's not about policing opinions. It's about stopping deliberate, damaging falsehoods.
So, after a day filled with budget deadlocks, geopolitical tension, and these heavy debates over disinformation, the entire nation collectively just needed a break. And the internet, as it so often does, was about to deliver.
Right in the middle of all the serious headlines and all the political stress, the digital world served up this moment of pure, unexpected joy that just cut through all the noise.
Everyone, meet Monkey Wowie. A video from the Philippine Eagle Foundation captured these macaques in a moment that looked uncannily like they were doing the viral Maui Wowie dance trend. It was silly, it was absolutely adorable, and for a nation dealing with so much heavy news, it was the perfect dose of lighthearted fun.
And that's really the story of December 15th, isn't it? On one side, you've got the headlines, all the heavy, consequential issues that define the nation's challenges. And on the other side, you've got the national heartbeat, a shared moment of absurdity and joy that reminds everyone they're all in it together.
So it leaves us with this question. Is a nation defined more by its crises or by the moments of joy it shares in between? What that single day in 2025 seems to suggest is that the true answer isn't one or the other. It's the incredible capacity to hold both at the exact same time.